The importance of adaptation in commercial truck and bus driving. As a seasoned commercial truck driver, bus driver, I can attest to the importance of adaptation in this profession, and whether it's road conditions or the daily basis of unpredictable, dynamic, or often challenging situations, requiring you to adjust. I like using that thing, improvise, adapt, and overcome, whether it's passengers or cargo, doesn't matter. Um, Being able to adapt is just a skill, a necessary skill to be the best at what you do. You know, quickly recognizing and responding, whether it's changing environments or changing snowstorms, accidents, slippery roads, or even dispatch stuff like a change in job or change in the client or whatever, and being able to be flexible and still maintain professional uh, character, a professional demeanor. That's why I like the fuel thing, focus, uplift, energy, and leverage applies to all different aspects. And understanding the importance of this is a crucial skill, and implementing into the best practices for safety and for productivity, overall efficiency and reliability in your commercial driving uh, career. So understanding road and weather conditions is like doing your homework with, and there's so many different apps out there now, um, as opposed to when I first started. The road and weather conditions on these apps you can actually use. I use one of these apps. What is it? Let me look. My Radar, which is a really good one, giving you active weather conditions, and you can see the weather pattern. You can even do it for winds and etc. For which are great for the commercial driver to keep tabs on, including your weather app. Aviation weather apps are really cool too because they're very accurate and they have some good stuff. So whether it's heavy rain, fog, snow, listening to your instincts and adjusting yourself. Never drive faster than you can see. So if you're running in fog, err on the side of caution. Tons of distance between you and the lights, or if there aren't cars in front of you, just driving a lot slower. Always adjust yourself to the road conditions, whether it's bumpy or you're up in Detroit and you got the potholes or debris or gators in the road requiring quick adjustments. I find that if you go not necessarily slower, but a little slower than the posted speed limit, you're adjusting yourself as you're coming around corners, or the roads like wavy, especially in the entertainment industry. You got people sleeping or going to the restroom or whatever, so you're adjusting yourself for that. And it's the same with any commercial truck or bus driver, whether you're hiring, whether you're driving production equipment, or you're working for Walmart, or you're working for Amazon Prime, and you're or JB Hunt. It doesn't matter what you're hauling, especially even if it's hazmat. You're always adjusting yourself to the road conditions, not just to what the speed limit says, and not always thinking of, oh, I got to get there, or those kind of things. Those are secondary. Your safety is always first, and customer service comes second. So you're very adapting to the road and weather conditions all the time, and you're doing your homework. You're taking comprehensive strategies and techniques that you've learned, and you continue to learn. Even watching videos like this, or some of my driving videos of nice. It's all steady and nice on the steering wheel, especially if you have passengers, and also your pre-trip is so important. Looking at the road and the cupping, and on your tires, and looking for any kind of, like, looking at the belts every single day. You should be doing a thorough um, pre-trip, and also the post-trip. Just the post-trip's a good little walk around just in case something happened while you were driving. That equipment, that tool that you use to do your job, like I said, whether it's a truck or a bus, is so important. And employing a smooth, inputs on the steering wheel and acceleration and brakes, not being hard on them. You're coming down going through Colorado, and you got like steep hills or inclines or whatever that you're going down. You're adjusting yourself prior to you get in there, that you're in the right gear prior to going on a decline. And then if it's an incline, you're building your speed so that you can get up the hill reasonably. And if you start to slow down over like 50, 45 miles an hour, you're throwing on the hazards and you're staying in that far right lane. You're always maintaining good control, and you're also always maintaining good vehicle condition. You know, the tires, the brakes I mentioned, um, all the critical components, making sure your antifreeze levels are up and your belts look good. You know, all that is so important to being able to adjust yourself and adjust your equipment so that you're safe out there on the road. And patience. Like, I mean, having uh, that's a huge tip I would say, is learning to be patient, learning to be adaptable emotionally and mentally. I think those are key elements for a commercial truck driver or bus driver, whether you're in the entertainment industry or not. Just being able to adjust your emotions on the road. It's very frustrating, you know, with the four wheelers out there, etc. But you are a professional driver, so you're expected to be at a um, a higher level of output and input, a higher level of respectability for all those on the road in a safe conditions, and being able to be prepared for emergencies just in case when they do happen up. You know, making sure you got an emergency kit and you have certain, you know, reflective triangles and flares and a first aid kit, and that you know how to use some of those things. I would recommend, you know, doing a CPR course. You can do them online, but having that in your toolbox, so to speak, is a really good asset to have. And it just puts you into a better position to be a better commercial driver out there on the road. You know, then you're talking about fatigue, getting your rest, etc. That's another thing of adapting to, you know, are you driving late at night? Like, you know, in our industry, you're basically sleeping from 3 o'clock in the afternoon and you're getting up at 11, and the runner comes at 11:45 or 12 or whatever, and then you leave at 1. So it gives you a good hour to do your pre-trips and clean up the bus and take out the garbage, etc. You know, whereas say if you're working for Procter and Gamble or something, or Wal, you have a day schedule, so you're unloading during the day and you're driving during the day, and or you might choose to adjust yourself so you're driving at night depending on your route. So you have to adapt yourself, your circadian rhythm, to that so that you are not fatiguing. You know, dusk till dawn. That thing at 5 in the morning, I used to always call my wife around 4:30, and actually, or even in our industry, we'll call other buddies that we know are up, and it gets you through that. When the sun starts to rise, boom, you got that extra boost of energy, and you're good to go. If you're getting fatigued, you get out at a rest area and go around, and, you know, in a sense, kick the tires, check your tires, check the bus, maybe do another kind of pre-trip type inspection just to wake yourself up. Always listening to your body. What does your body say? And listen to your mind and your gut. Learn through, you know, formal training programs and on the job learning. It's a constant. As long as you got that career, you need to always keep learning. And, you know, formal training, like taking the Smith system, for example, we use that. I think it's brilliant. It's something all of us commercial drivers should do. So if you get a chance, go online and click with the Smith system. There are private, you know, training program companies out there that are adapt the Smith principle and will go through it, and you'll have to do you know, different quizzes and stuff, and then you can implement it while you're on the road. Take some of those tips and tricks and implement that. We're always learning, and we should always be learning. So, you know, as the road becomes your home away from home, and you have to treat it such, and you have to treat your body as such too. I was talking about adapting to snowstorms and construction and dealing with those practical things, but I also believe that you need to adapt to the spiritual and mental things, so that, you know, maybe doing a little bit of Tai Chi or something, a 7 minute. I do 7 minute Chi every day. Um, walking around the bus or finding some ways to exercise. And instead of doing the Wendy's hamburger, maybe do a veggie from Subway. Uh, Start to look after your body too. That's also improvise adapt to your body and your body condition, because that contributes to a healthy mind. And if you have a healthy mind, then the skill sets are all going to come in a natural flow, which I highly recommend that you start doing. Do it today. Sharing your experiences is another good way. I've learned that the more you learn, to really absorb what you've learned, teach it. Um, pay it forward, teach it, teach some of those things and lead by example. Start being healthy, start working out, start doing isotonic exercises that you can to keep yourself. And it starts with one step. Even if you're out of shape right now, um, you start doing the little stuff. In 365 days, you won't recognize the guy. You will be a healthy bus or truck driver, and your mindset will be better too, which makes you not only a great employee, it makes you also safer on the road. um, Playing that role, or that role of a healthy, well balanced driver, I think is key to a happy and successful life. I use that thing, my acronym FUEL, which is focus, uplift, energy, and leverage. And you can apply that to all areas of life. If you apply for my course, CDO Platinum, um, and come in and become a member of the CDO Platinum community, we'll go more in depth in being able to apply that for your life and for your career and for your family, and it just make you a better person all around, because that's ultimately, I care about all the people that I work with out here on the road. And when I came into the office, I really started to see what a lot of the drivers needed, encouragement and adjustments in, to have a well balanced life and have some longevity, instead of having illnesses and things that take them out of the road. And I mean, I'm on the road right now because of uh, a spot where we had 4 drivers with health issues, and I'm covering right now for one driver. I actually had to have my veteran driver go cover for a driver that was in the hospital, and I took over for that driver because it's a short run. So I only got like a couple more days left on this tour, and then it's back in the office. But it truly is an improvise, adapt, and overcome. I've said that before, and there's so many things out there, in-cab technologies that are helping you, like the apps I mentioned, like the Smith system I mentioned, working with your mechanics and with your company and finding the right company. That's really important too. There are ways to do that, but like if they're interviewing you, you should also be interviewing them. That's another improvise, adapt type of technique that you would use, even like when you're going in for a job interview and looking after your license. Like, I mean, if you get a ticket or something, it's worth fighting it so that it doesn't show up on your license. And you know, being that I always try and stay about 4 miles per hour below, because I'm driving people too. So I'm trying to give them as smooth of a drive as I can. And I do use the technologies. I'll use Google Zoom to zoom in and look for, also with different, whether it's the Waze and the and McNally GPS or Garmin GPS trucking thing. I'll get live updates for like where the construction zones are, and where the police are, and where I need to adjust myself properly so that they have the smoothest ride. And same with the truck driver, where they have the safest route for yourself, and that you're not disrupting your cargo that you're bringing, and you are expedient, but you're safe. And I can't stress that enough. Safety is always first. And if you can't make it on time for your thing, it's all about communication. Let people know. And I use the trifecta, which is basically a phone call, an email, and a text all the time, so that in a sense it's a CYA. If there's bad road conditions, I might even text that out. Just say, hey man, I'm hitting a real bad snowstorm here, and da 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 da. at least someone knows. So that's really all I got to say is about improvise, adapting, and overcoming, and applying the fuel system to all aspects of it. That it's not just weather and road conditions, which is extremely important, and the construction and adapting yourself to that or to routes and detours, but also taking that and implementing it into yourself, into your heart, into your mind, so you're a better person when those diversions happen. So, anyways, join us on CDL Platinum. I hope that you watch my videos and comment below. And if you're really interested, it's cdlplatinum.com. Send me your email. We'll stay in touch. And as this course develops itself, I hope you will join us and stay safe out there. Love you guys. Peace.